Okay, my dear students, welcome. Hope you all are having a nice time together with family. And now, coming back to our topic, number systems. I hope that by now you should be knowing the difference between a rational number and an irrational number. See, rational number, as we have told, that they are the numbers that they can be written in the form of a fraction, and the values of there are known, except for the non-terminating, repeating decimal expansions. And irrational numbers are those who cannot be written in the form of fraction, and the values are definitely not known. One thing you should remember, supposing if 3 is a rational number, 3 is a rational number, root 7 is an irrational number. When we add them, subtract them, if a rational number plus irrational number or rational number minus irrational number, then this will be an irrational number. This as a whole is called as irrational number. Similarly, if supposing I multiply root 5 into 7 is equal to 7 root 5, so this also is an irrational number. Except what happens, supposing if root 7 and root 7, they both basically are irrational numbers, but if I multiply them, then it becomes 7. Now this becomes a rational number. See, after solving the expression, what you get? Do you get a value which is rational after solving? Then we can consider that this number also as a whole, this expression is a rational expression. Because after solving them, after simplifying it, we are going to get a rational value. So this is a rational number. So these type of questions are there which starts in the exercise. And of course, these are the questions. I hope we have completed these questions or not. Yeah, maybe lots of examples we have done by now, or otherwise I'll try to give one more example, no problem. So now the next and important topic is rationalize. Rationalize means what? Any number is an irrational number. A expression is an irrational expression. You have to make it a rational number or a rational expression. So you have to rationalize an irrational number. But then the topic does not claim only that much. It asks you to do rationalize the denominator. This is the topic. Rationalize the denominator. What is happening with the numerator is not to be considered. You have to only concentrate on denominator. Now, what are the types of questions that you will be having in this? See, you may all have 1 upon root 2. This can be one question. Now, this you can see the denominator is an irrational number. Now, because the denominator is an irrational number, you will have to rationalize this denominator. Fine. Of course, it can also be of this sort. I'm purposely, it can be of 1 upon 7 root 5. Here also this is an irrational number. As I told you, rational into irrational. After simplifying, if you are getting a value which is a rational, only then it is a rational number. But here we can't simplify it to become a rational number. So this is definitely a irrational number. So this we have to rationalize. These are the type of questions. You can also have 1 upon root 125. Okay, this also you will be asked to rationalize. And another type of questions which are actually much more important are 1 upon 3 plus root 5. These type of questions, and I can say 1 upon 6 plus 2 root 3, something of this sort. See, what I mean to say is that understand the difference between the two types of questions. The basic question is same, rationalize the denominator. The basic question is rationalize the denominator, means we have to rationalize the denominator. We have to convert the irrational denominator into a rational number. Here also it is same. except what happens is that here you have got a monomial, 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 and here we have got binomial, binomial. So when it is a monomial, at that time life is different, and when there is a binomial, at that time life is different. Okay, my dear students, so we will carry on. I'll try to explain you first this type of questions. They are very easy, don't have to bother much about that. 1 upon root 2 plus 1 upon 7 root 5, 1 upon root 125. I'll first suggest that you first simplify them as much as possible. First simplify them as much as possible. Even if you don't simplify, then also it's okay. You can do it in any way. See, now what is the irrational part? Root 2 is the irrational part. So what you have to do is just whatever is the irrational part. Here I'll just purposely change this number. Just keeping it all the way same is not going to help you in any way. So I can change this number so that you get some complexity over there, which actually is not complex. 1 upon root 2. Now, what is the irrational part of the denominator? The root 2 is the irrational part. What you have to do in the next step, multiply and divide by that irrational part. Multiply and divide by that irrational part. So this becomes root 2 upon root 2. Fine. So now what happens is that 1 into root 2, as you know, I have told you, when you multiply the fractions, multiply numerator to numerator, denominator to denominator, so you will get 1 into root 2 is root 2. Root 2 into root 2 will become 2. And see here, now this is that you have rationalized the denominator. Numerator has become an irrational number, that is none of the botheration. But you have rationalized the denominator. Fine. So here this is 1. Now consider this. Life is even more easy over. So just remember the words that are coming out of my mouth. What I am telling. You are going to rationalize the denominator. So when you go to rationalize the denominator, notice the irrational part in the denominator when it is a monomial. Please, when it is a monomial, this logic is applicable only when it is a monomial. In the monomial, I know my pronunciation is going to be slightly striking you, but I pronounce it monomial because it is the right pronunciation, monomial. We are used to monomial, but monomial is not the right pronunciation. So just ignore that part. Whatever you feel, you can carry on with that. So what is in this monomial, what is the irrational part? Root 5 is the irrational part. So I will multiply and divide by root 5. See, remember what I am telling you. You should always multiply and divide by the irrational part. And the rest of the part will come as it is. See, this will be as it is written. And then I will multiply by root 5 because root 5 is the irrational part, 7 is not. And this is root 5. So now I will multiply numerator to numerator. In the next step, I will multiply numerator to numerator and this denominator to denominator. So this will become 3 into root 5 will become 3 root 5 upon, this will be what? This will multiply with the coefficient, will multiply with the coefficient over here, which is 1. And root 5 will multiply with root 5. Radical will multiply with radical. And by now you have understood that root 5 into root 5 is going to give you 5. So what you get is 3 root 5 upon 7 5s are 35. And this you have rationalized the denominator. Okay, my dear students, I hope you all are getting this. Now coming back to the next question, 7 upon root 125. You can solve it in two ways, whichever you find you are comfortable. Of course, the case 1 is very much easy. What you just have to do is that multiply and divide by the irrational part. You will get 7 root 125 upon this will become 125. That's all. Understood? That is all. The other way you can solve is by 7 root 125. You can solve this. Root 125 you can solve. provided you know how to solve. You can find the value of root 125. Actually, root 125, the value of root 125 is what? 5 2s are 10, 5 5s are 25, 5 5s are 25, 5 1s are 5. So this has got a pair, so this will go out of the radical. See, if I have to find root 125. So what it is, this is the factorization done. 5 into 5 into 5. So what will happen is that this will become a pair and this will go out of the radical. Because this doesn't have a pair, it will continue to stay in the radical. This is the way you are going to simplify root 125. So root 125 is nothing but 5 root 5. So this will become what in the next step? 7 upon 5 root 5. Fine. And now what you will do? Multiply and divide by the irrational part. This will become 5 root 5 into root 5 upon root 5. So what you get is 7 root 5 upon 5 will multiply with the coefficient. 5 ones are 5. Root 5 into root 5 will give you another 5. So you will get what? 7 root 5 upon 5 5s are 25. This will be your answer. Are you getting? 7 root 5 upon 25. Actually, this is the right answer. Okay, this is because this is the most simplified answer. This can be your answer, your school teacher, if she accepts with that. Okay, but then this also you can come here. Don't get confused, please. See, you can reach there, no problem. See, if supposing if I have got this is that what I had 7 upon root 125 as a question. 7 upon root 125. So what I'll do, I'll multiply by root 125 and divide by root 125. So I get 7 root 125 upon 125. Even now I will have to simplify this root 125. It will become 7 into 5 root 5. I've told you how. Right? 5 into 5 into 5. Pair of 5 will go. See, root 125 is going to be 5 root 5 upon 125. It continues. Now this will divide because this is a multiplication sign in between. So anybody can divide, any numerator can divide any denominator. 5 ones and this will become 525. So what stays is 7 root 5 upon 25. So anyhow, you will have to simplify this root 125 if you want to go to the actual answer. So instead of simplifying it afterwards and then undergoing division and everything, I suggest that you simplify it first itself. First itself here, you simplify this. 7 upon this will become 5 root 5. I hope now you have understood. See, you just have to, whatever it is, it can be any 64 if I take. 64 will be complete. All are 5 is the nearest possible. $216 if I take. Chalo, let's try with this. If I go to find the square root of this is the most difficult part now. 2 ones are 2. And now you see, try to understand 2 ones are 2. Everything is gone. At a time, only one number will come. Only one. So this I will have to divide first. 2 0 0. And then the 16 will come. And then this is 8. 2 5s are 10. 4s are 8. 2 2s are 4. 7s are. 3 9s are. 3 3s are. 3 1s are. Now, because you are going to find a square root of 216, what you will do, this 2 will go out of the radical. This has got a pair, this will go out of the radical. But these 2 doesn't have another pair of 2, 3 doesn't have another number to pair with. So you will get 2 into 3 inside the radical. So this will become what? 6 root 6 will be the number. Are you getting? It can be in any form. So this you should be able to calculate. So that will be easier for you to do then. So 7, this is going to be root 125 is going to be 5 root 5. So this will become what? 7 upon. Now you are going to multiply only with the irrational number. So this becomes 7 root 5 upon 5 into root 5 will give you 5. That will become 7 root 5 upon 25. Okay, my dear students, so I hope this topic is quite easy. You just have to do one thing. Whatever is the irrational part of the denominator, you have to multiply and divide by the irrational part. Most of the times, the most only possible uh, complexity you will have is that the denominator can be simplified. It has a chance to get simplified. In that case, you try to simplify it. First simplify it and then solve it. After you simplify it and you solve it like this, simplify it and solve it, then you will get an irrational part and then multiply and divide by the irrational part. That becomes easier. Okay, so that is all with this topic. It is not at all difficult, but the next topic is slightly different. You will have to handle it in a different way and you have to know some more. See here, now I'll first identify you with one process, then this topic becomes very easy. See, my dear student, the best part, supposing if 5 root 5 plus root 7, if I want to convert it into a rational number. Now this is irrational. What I should do is that there is a concept called as conjugate. Conjugate. What is the meaning of conjugate? See, any binomial, supposing a plus b is the binomial, his conjugate will be, you don't have to do anything. Keep the first and second term same, except change the sign. A minus b will be the conjugate of this. This is called as conjugate of a plus b. Supposing if I have got 7 root 3 minus b square, conjugate will be 7 root 3 plus b square. See, 7 root 3 are same, b square are same, except what happens if if here minus sign is there, then you have to write plus sign over here. You have to just switch the sign, change the sign. Then what happens, this is called as conjugate of this. Try to understand, they both are not equal, definitely not equal, but what is happening is that I am discovering a conjugate of this. This number is conjugate of this. So you have to do what? This is the number root 5 plus root 7. I have to multiply this with this conjugate. Remember, but this I am explaining you. You can't do like this directly in maths. You can't do that. One expression is there and suddenly you bring a conjugate and multiply it with that conjugate. No, it never happens in maths like this. I am just telling you what happens when you multiply an expression with a conjugate. What happens when you multiply an expression, any expression, when you multiply with its conjugate, then what you are going to do? See, then here automatically you are going to apply the identity of a plus b into a minus b is going to be equal to a square minus b square. This identity will come into the picture now. Fine. So here also, if I bring this identity, so what I'll get is that square of the first term means root 5 square minus always square of the second term, root 7 square. This will be the result of this. So what I'll get, root 5 square is going to be 5, root 7 square is going to be 7, 5 minus 7 is minus 2, still a rational number. Negative, it is negative, but then still it is a rational number. See, you can do anything. Now let us take these numbers itself. A plus b, if I multiply it with the conjugate, what I get, a square minus b square. This as it is as it is a rational number, forget about that. Coming to this, 7 root 3 minus b square. If I want to rationalize this, now because this is a rational number, because there is a root 3 over here, if I want to rationalize this, I will multiply this with its conjugate, right? 7 root 3 b square minus over here I'll get a b plus over here. So this is a conjugate. I'll always multiply it with a conjugate. So by applying the identity, what I'll get, square of this term 7 root 3 square minus square of the second term. Remember, b square is a square which is already present and I have to find the square of this. So what will happen now? This square is applicable to 7, it will become 49, and it is also applicable to root 3, it will become 3 minus b raised to the power of 4, right? Outer power will multiply with the inner power. So this becomes 3 9s are 27, 3 4s are 12, 13, 14, 147 minus b raised to the power of 4. Now there is no radical, so this has become a rational number. Fine. So that is what we are actually going to use over here. How and what are we going to do? See, 1 upon 3 plus root 5. What I will do, I will have to multiply this with the conjugate. But in maths, I can't just bring a conjugate and only multiply with that one part. No. What I will have to do, like I did before, when I wanted this root to be multiplied with root 2, I multiplied and divided by the same number. I multiplied the numerator also by root 2 and multiplied the denominator also by root 2. So similarly, I will multiply this fraction by the conjugate of this. So what I'll get? 3 minus root 5 upon 3 minus root 5. This is the conjugate and I am multiplying the fraction with the conjugate. So what I get is this, if I multiply numerator to numerator, I get 3 minus root 5 only, fine. And in the denominator, what do I get? 3 plus root 5 into 3 minus root 5. So what do you get over here? 3 minus root 5 upon, now this will become by the identity 3 square minus root 5 square. You will have to write over here by identity a plus b into a minus b is equal to a square minus b square. I am not writing because I have to use that part of the page. So 3 minus root 5 upon, what do I get? 9 minus root 5 square is going to be 5. So what do I get? 3 minus root 5 upon 4. Here the rational number, the denominator is rationalized. Okay, the same will happen over here. 1 upon 6 plus 2 root 3. This will give me 1 upon 6 plus 2 root 3. I will rationalize the denominator and multiply and divide by the rational number, right? As 6, 2 root 3, 2 root 3, this is plus over here, this is minus over here. So 1 into this will give me 6 minus 2 root 3 upon, this will become 6 square minus, always minus 2 root 3 the whole square, fine, right? First term, square of the first term, and second term, square of the second term. So what do I get? 6 minus 2 root 3 upon 6 square will make 36 minus. Now this square is applicable to root 3 also and this square is applicable to 2 also. This will give me 4 into 2 square is 4, root 3 square is 3. So what do I get? 6 minus 2 root 3 upon 36 minus 4 3s are 12. Are you getting? This part I have solved. So what do I get now? 6 minus 2 root 3 upon, this will give me 36 minus 10 will give me 26 minus 2 will give me 24. If now it is very important over here, my dear students, this can be solved and you have to know how to solve this. See, now the most blunder, most of the time, many students do this. I am warning you all people, please, please, please understand what I am telling and understand it alarmingly. Here there is a minus sign in between. I can't divide this. 2 1s are 2, 2 12s are 24. I can't divide. I can't divide. 6 1s are 6, 6 4s are 24. I can't divide. Even if there is a minus sign or a plus sign, I can't divide that. Remember this. You will never do this. You please do anything else that you feel is possible for you to do. If you don't do, leave it over there. But don't do the blunder of dividing this 2 by this 24 or this 6 by this 24. When there is a minus or plus sign between the two numbers, one term will not go and divide the denominator. It is not going to happen. Maths doesn't follow this anytime. Only thing that you can do it now is that you have to find the common factor from here. If you understand this, a number which will divide 6 also, you are now actually ignoring the denominator. You are only solving the numerator. Here, if I see only the numerator, any number that can divide 6 also and 2 also is 2. So what I will write, this 2 will be the common factor that goes out of the bracket. And then this 2 has gone out of the bracket. Now what do I do? This 2 has gone out of the bracket. So 2 divides this. 2 3s are 6. So 3 will come over here. minus 2 ones are 2, so 1 stays and root 3 comes over here and the denominator will be followed down. Fine. And now 2 multiplied by bracket. Now there is a multiplication sign. So definitely 2 will divide with the 24. So this 2 will divide with the 24 because this 2 is multiplying with the bracket. If there is a multiplication sign in between, then definitely one of them can go and divide with the opposite post. Like a number in the numerator can go and divide with the number in the denominator. But provided there is a multiplication sign over here. If there is a plus sign or minus sign, that means there is a binomial over there in the numerator. Then one term cannot go and divide with the number in the opposite side. That is, one term in the numerator cannot go and divide the number in the denominator. No, because it is a binomial. There is a plus or minus sign in between. Unless it is a monomial. If this would have been 6 into 2 root 3, then this would have been a monomial. And then 6 will divide over here. And that's what we are trying to do. When we take out the common factor over here, now this expression is 2 into bracket, 2 multiplied by some bracket. So now this 2 can go and divide over here. But mind it, even now the numbers in the bracket cannot come and divide with the denominator. Only 2 is able to do that because 2 is multiplying with the bracket. So this is very, very, very important, and even I explain this so alarmingly, still students just do it because they feel that that is the only thing that is possible that can be done and they just do it. Don't do that. Actually, you should master this. There is no other option. You have to master this step. See if the common factor is possible. Sometimes common factor also is not possible. Sometimes you will get what do you get? 7 minus 3 root 3 upon 17. Now here common factor is not possible over here. Leave it over there then. Then leave the sum over there. But don't do any blunder, please. Don't do the blunders of, acha, okay, supposing this would have been 15. 7 minus 3 root, 7 minus 3 root 3 upon 15. So now if you will see, you cannot take out any common factor from here. So what do I do? Chalo, okay, I'll divide this. Don't do that. This division is not possible. I can't divide this 3 with this 15 because 3 is a part of a term which is subtracting somewhere. You will have to leave this where it is. This is the final answer. You can't simplify it further. Please understand this. Okay. So that is how you are going to do. You are going to conjugate the denominator. If it is a binomial given, you have to conjugate the denominator and multiply and divide by the conjugate. And then you will multiply numerator to numerator and solve it down. Okay. I think with this, actually speaking, we have completed the topic of exercise 1.5. You should be able to do the topic except for one question. Okay. There is nothing that is difficult now stopping you. I can solve one more question if you want, just to give you a break. 7, I have not done this. 7 upon root 2 minus root 10. Now also the question is same, rationalize the denominator. Now if I go to rationalize the denominator, as I told you, I will have to multiply and divide by the conjugate of the denominator. My dear students, always pay attention on my language. It is very important. So I will multiply and divide with the conjugate of the denominator. The denominator is root 2 minus root 10. The conjugate will be root 2 plus root 10. I will multiply with the conjugate and also divide with the conjugate. So what do you get? Now this will go and straight multiply over there. 7 into root 2 plus root 10. If you want, you can open this bracket, 7 into root 2 plus 7 into root 10. Else you can just leave it. So now you are getting root 2 square minus root 10 square. Reason, since a plus b, this you should write. I have not written elsewhere only because I was running out of space. Okay. Now here you will get 7 into root 2 plus root 10 upon root 2 square will become 2, root 10 square will become 10, and then what you get is 7 into root 2 plus root 10 upon 2 minus 10 will give me minus 8. That is all. You can leave it here. Anyhow, minus 8 also is a rational number. So you basically have rationalized the denominator. Okay, my dear students, I hope now you all are in the position to solve exercise 1.5. See if you'll see exercise 1.5. Classify the following numbers as rational or irrational number. The first part is very simple. 2 minus root 5. It is a irrational number because 2 is a rational number but root 5 is an irrational number. Rational minus irrational will be irrational. Right? You all do one thing. Try to solve this. Try to solve this and post your answers. Try to solve this. You will be able to solve question number 1. You will be able to solve question number 2. And you will be able to solve question number 5. 1, 2, 5. Okay, my dear students. Solve this. Question number 1, question number 2, and question number 5. And let's see how you are doing. Thank you, my dear students. See you soon.